Are you bored and frustrated with DDs leaving the flank, getting bombarded by the hybrids, and high repair costs? And all of this to just sink you into the abyss by an unspotted submarine that is not even pinging you. Well, if this is what you think, you're at the right place, because today we will tell you how to have fun in World of Warships. Yes, you heard it right. I'm not lying. How to have fun in Warships. The answer to this question is low tier. While everyone is racing to get a tier 10, grinding their way up, spending their sanity and wallets, chasing the end game. But here's the new thing. Low tier is the end game. Why do you ask? Let me go ahead and prove you point by point why I think low tier is the end game. And last one is the most important, because this is what the essence of this game, or this is what the essence of a MMO should be all about. First, let's start off with the most important thing, which is fun, or the fun factor. First advantage of low tier, fast frantic action. At low tier, matches are short, ships move faster relative to the map, and engagement, they happen quickly. You're not spending the first 6 minutes sailing into a cap only to get deleted by something you never saw, and you just are unhappy about that, and you have to just sit and watch that ship for 20 minutes because you don't have the money to go ahead and press that battle button again. Point number 2, mistakes are survivable. Made a bad play, got caught broadside at tier 4, you bounce back, because hey, you never know, the gun was maybe from a Myogi and it did not aim at your citadel right, or it's just bounced off your belt. It's okay, you can bounce back and you can play again. This game is fun. Point number 3, maps, they feel alive. As far as I'm concerned, I think at lower tier, maps, they feel alive because they are a little close by, or the map size is smaller, plus the ships included with bots, they try and move a little quickly, so you can't abandon the flank if you have a sane head. So I think that works out well for us. Part number 2, the economics. Yes, the economics, after all the changes that Wargaming has made, is outright terrible. If you're not a premium player like a lot of the people are, if you're not spending your own money or daddy's money to get that premium or to get that credit or gold, yes, people do buy credit from real money. Yes, I know players who will spend dollars to get credits. There are a couple of points which I think from an economy standpoint are relevant to lower tiers and are a pain in higher tiers. First would be the repair bill. At higher tier, a bad match can cost you hundreds of thousands of credits in just service costs. A tier 10 ship can run you anywhere between 180,000 to 200,000 credits just to repair and resupply after a loss. At tier 4 or 5, I think that could be anywhere from 5 to 15,000 credits max. You cannot go bankrupt by playing these low tiers if you're half decent. Next point, you don't need premium to have fun at lower tiers. Higher tier gameplay basically requires a default premium account and premium ships to be credit efficient. If you're playing 5 games in a non-premium ship, another 10 have to be in a premium tier 10 because you cannot run out of money. At lower tier, free to play is actually free to play, not like the free to play version of wargaming. Another point is no signal or flag dependency. You don't need to deck your ship with 8 flags to get the maximum out of your ship. Like destroyers, they definitely need that speed flag, and as a battleship, you need the fire and the flood flags. You don't have that dependency here because it's all about new players mixing with old players who are trying to have fun. So here, even if in case you were to add those flags, I don't think so it gives you a massive advantage, so you can play without them as well. Another thing is, at lower level, you actually have tech T strips which existed in real time. That's one. Second, they are free. Third, they are great. When I say free, you don't have to spend gold or real money for it, so they are actually fun and you can enjoy. Another major point that I want to put across is there are no gimmicks. This is pure mechanics at lower tier, and you heard me right. Yes, there are comparatively very low gimmicks at lower tier than what you see in a higher tier. Let's say for an example, at a higher tier, I am in my Annapolis, you are, let's say, in your tier 8 Chapaya. I see you broadside. You have 5 seconds to do something. I press the F key and you're done for. Yes, I use that as an example. So here are a few points which prove that at lower tier you have lower gimmicks which make the game funnier for you to play, or rather it adds more fun. Funnier may not be the right word. Advantage, no submarine, of course. At tier 4-5, you rarely see submarines. If you get high tier, once in a blue moon, that's okay, but then otherwise you're playing without submarines. You're not getting shot into the abyss by something that you can't even see. Another thing, no overpowered CV dominance at that tier. Yes, you do encounter a CV now and then, but then these things are not Manfred von Richthofen or FDR, so you get to survive. How many times in your Des Moines you have been shot at to the last couple of thousand of your health by a FDR bomb? I know I've been shot a few times, and there's virtually nothing that you can do about it. Another point is gunnery actually matters. Here, if you have good skills at lower tiers, it would matter because there is no gimmick to survive. You should know how to aim, you should know how to lead. While guns are not the most accurate, but then all of this matters because you don't have a gimmick supporting it. And another thing is torpedo play is readable at this tier. Torpedo ranges and torpedo speeds and detection windows are lower as compared to what you have at high tiers. While there are deep water torpedoes and all, but then I've seen destroyers fire one deep water torpedo because that's what all that ship could afford in real time. Another one, or the most important one when it comes to the gimmick part, it's the matchmaking. Matchmaking is tighter. Lower tier matchmaking is typically like it spans between 1 to 2 tiers rather than brutal tier 8 facing tier 10s. I can post tens of videos where in my Bayard I got shot into the heavens by a Stalingrad, or in today's date by a carrier. Last and the most important point is the community angle. When I say community angle, there is a lot of player base which is there at tier 4 and tier 5, wherein these guys are comparatively new. Maybe it's their first week playing this game, and if we were to go and play with them there and build a community, find friends, I think you would find a lot healthier World of Warships. Hell, I want to train a couple of World of Warship players and tell them how to play a risk-free game. Don't worry too much about survival. While it's important, but it's not more important than you doing good with your team. So another point would be new players and veterans, they both have fun. So at this tier, as I explained a second ago, everybody is having fun together and that's why it matters. Another one is, this is the best place to test new lines. Thinking about grinding a new tech tree, starting a new tier 1 to tier 4 tech trees, it can happen within minutes. And I mean, you can actually have a good time without even thinking too much. So in a nutshell, you can go ahead and you can do anything in that tier and you don't have to think about it after shutting down World of Warships because it doesn't matter. The credit will come back and you're always in profit if you're half decent, as I always mention. So look, high tier has its place, ranked competitive clan battles, and that's a whole different conversation that we have had in the past and we can have it again if you want. But if you're playing World of Warships to have fun, or you want to play a game without a subscription model built into your repair bills and actually engage with real naval mechanic instead of gimmick after gimmick, low tier where it is at. Give it a shot. Let me know how do you feel about the tier 3 or tier 4 ship. My personal recommendation, all of you would have received a Dreadnought last year from Wargaming. Try that ship. You would have seen a video of it, me playing the Dreadnought. I think it was my second or third battle on the Dreadnought. Boy, I love it. This will remind you, and I think this will remind you why you fell in love with this game, because I know my end goal was to get the Bismarck, because before playing World of Warships, I have seen enough videos of Bismarck hunting the hood. I'm sure all of you did too. So what my Gross of Purpose is doing right now, I don't know. What am I doing in my Des Moines? I don't care. And I'm a light cruiser player. I have about 1200 battles in a culvert and I don't know what I'm doing. From a fun pack, because I'm always worried how much damage I will do, how will I support my team when I'm playing that ship. But at lower tier, nobody cares. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you'll enjoy the lower tier gameplay. If you enjoyed my overall viewpoint on the lower tiers, give it a like, drop me a comment and let me know what do you think. If you're a low tier enjoyer or you are still chasing your tier 8 dreams, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.